Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to part 2 of the special program of Real Talk. Today I have a very, very special guest, Abid Hussein from Leeds, one of the co-directors of the well-known, well-established Abu Bakr supermarket. They opened up a supermarket in Batley last week, and it's a very, very successful launch. And the people of Batley, Dewsbury and surrounding areas were absolutely thrilled. I'll show you a clip of that. Now, that's not the reason why I've asked him to be here, because he's opened up a supermarket. The main reason why I've asked him to be here is to showcase that he's not just a business person, but is also a very, very good Muslim, a practicing Muslim. He knows his deen phenomenally well, much, much better than I do. But much more important than that, he marries his business as well as his commitments and dedication to Islamic values and principles. And the reason why I want him to come here and share his journey is to inspire young people who may be thinking of going into business or are in business, to say you can have a business, be successful, you can be a professional and be successful. And we've got many, many Muslim brothers and sisters who are, and they also have an equally important connection with their deen. So Abid has been, telling us about his journey, how his father came over in the 60s and slowly sort of built up a business. And like many other businesses, lost a lot of money as well. So some of the businesses were not successful. And then how he took over, within around the 1980s with his younger brothers and made this business into a success that it has. So let me share with you something else about Abid that you may not know. There are a couple of people around the country who are well-known fundraisers at charity events. And they are the stalwarts of raising money for many, many charities, particularly the charities in Pakistan. And he virtually does a lot of charity events up and down the country where he's on stage, he entertains people, but also takes out the begging handkerchief and actually has got a phenomenal connectivity with people. And I've seen him raise a lot of money for charity as well. So let me show you this clip from Batley, where the shop opened up, and it's been welcomed by everyone from all communities.
Thank you very much for each and every one of you for being here this evening. Thank you. It's a very short notice, and each and every one of you, that people that I can see from my right to the left, mashallah, each and every one of you is very, very important for us. Each and every one of you, mashallah, you have a significant respect in my heart. आप मेरे दिल में माशाल्लाह आपके लिए बड़ी इज्जत है. थैंक यू. आप मेरे खैर ख्वाह हैं. मैं ये समझता हूँ ये कारोबार हमारा नहीं, मेरा नहीं है, मेरी फैमिली का नहीं, हम सब का है. ये इज्जत हम सब की है क्योंकि हम एक उम्मत हैं अल्लाह के फजल, और किसी के साथ हमारी कोई कंपटीशन नहीं. यूसुफ भाई मेरे भाई हैं, मेरे दोस्त हैं, बल्कि मैं ये दुआ करता हूँ कि या अल्लाह हमारे आने से पहले जितने भी यहाँ पे कारोबार हैं, या अल्लाह उन कारोबार में दिन दुगनी और रात चुगनी तरक्की अता फरमा. क्योंकि ये कारोबार, ये रोज़ी कभी भी कोई बंदा नहीं देता, कोई कम्युनिटी नहीं देती, कोई फ़र्द वाहिद नहीं देता, कोई ग्रुप नहीं देता. रोज़ी अल्लाह के ख़जाने से आती है. एक एक जो गाहक अंदर आता है, अल्लाह एक फ़रिश्ता भेजते हैं उसके साथ. ये उलमा किराम से पूछ लीजिए. तो ये हमारा जो है, ये ईमान जो है, ये पक्का होना चाहिए कि रोज़ी अल्लाह के ख़जानों से आएगी. किसी को नुकसान देने के लिए हम कभी भी नहीं सोच सकते. अगर मैंने किसी को नुकसान करने के लिए सोचा तो सबसे पहला मेरा रिवर्स गियर लग जाएगा. तो ये नीयत जो है, नीयत का दारोमदार इन्नमल अमाल को बिन्नियात, सारा अमलों का दारोमदार नीयत पे है. अल्लाह पाक आपको जज़ा खैर अता फरमाए. मैं चाहता हूँ कि काफ़ी हज़रात इन सब का शुक्रिया अदा करूँ, लेकिन अगर मैंने नाम लेना शुरू कर दिया तो कुछ रह जाएंगे और कुछ नहीं रह जाएंगे, कुछ तो मैं इसलिए सबका नाम नहीं लूँगा. तमाम अहबाब को, बिलखुसूस मेरे जो यहाँ पे जो बुज़ुर्ग बैठे हैं, मेरे चाचा जान हैं जनाब हाजी अकरम साहब, और मेरे चाचा जान हाजी यासीन साहब. आज हम अगर यहाँ पे हम फैमिली बैठे हैं तो इनकी वजह से हैं. इन बुज़ुर्गों की कुर्बानियाँ हैं. इन्होंने यहाँ पे सारा प्लेटफॉर्म, यहाँ पे 1960 में मेरे चाचा जान आए, चाचा अकरम साहब. 1961 में चाचा यासीन साहब आए. मेरा अब्बू जी ये 1960 में आए, और उन्होंने फिर 70s में कारोबार शुरू किया. करते करते अपने बच्चों को अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह सिर्फ कारोबार नहीं सिखाया, बल्कि दीन भी सिखाया. लोगों के साथ मुआमलात सिखाए हैं, मोहब्बत सिखाई है, और पता उन्होंने ज़िंदगी का जो सही राब्ता है वो सिखाया हमें. अल्लाह पाक इन हज़रात को जज़ा खैर अता फरमाए. इनकी वजह से, इन बुज़ुर्गों की वजह से हम जिस मकाम पे हैं, अल्लाह पाक इनकी ज़िंदगी में बरकत अता फरमाए. अल्लाह पाक इनका दस्ते शफ़क़त हमारे सरों पर रहे. मेरी वालदा माजिदा घर में हैं, बीमार रहती हैं, उनके भी आप दुआ करनी है कि अल्लाह पाक उनको सेहत तंदुरुस्ती अता फरमाए. वो भी बड़ी मोहब्बत वाली, बड़ी हमें अच्छी माशाअल्लाह उन्होंने तरबियत दी है. मेरे दो भाई हैं, वाजिद साहब और साजिद साहब. वाजिद साहब किधर हैं? दोनों भाई, वो दोनों भाई कैमरे के पीछे पीछे रहते हैं, सामने नहीं आते, जब भी उनको बुलाएं तो पीछे पीछे होते हैं। जी बुलाएं भाई, साजिद भाई और वाजिद भाई दोनों आए प्लीज। साजिद भाई और वाजिद भाई प्लीज दोनों आगे आए प्लीज। अल्लाह पाक इनको जज़ा खैर अता फरमाए। ये जितनी मेहनत हुई है अल्लाह पाक इन दोनों को जज़ा खैर अता फरमाए। ये बहुत काफ़ी काम इन्होंने किया है माशाल्लाह, इसको पूरा ऑर्गेनाइज किया है। जी साजिद साहब, वाजिद साहब किधर हैं? वाजिद भाई को बुलाएं भाई। ये दोनों भाई मेरे पीछे पीछे रहते हैं, असल में मुझे इन्होंने माउथ पीस रखा हुआ है। मैं जो हूँ, मैं इनका पब्लिक रिलेशन ऑफिसर हूँ। काम मैंने ही शुरू किया था, अपने वालिद साहब से लिया। जब बैटन मैंने लिया तो मैंने दोनों भाइयों के साथ बैटन पकड़ा और आज अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह ये 40 साल हो गए हमें। द फर्स्ट शॉप दैट वी टुक ओवर अबू जी की 1987 में मैंने पहली बार बिजनेस, तो नेली 40 ईयर्स, यंग, बहुत यंग थे और ये बिल्कुल छोटे थे। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह इन्होंने पूरा, यानी कि आज अगर अल्लाह के फजल करम से हम यहाँ तक पहुँचे हैं तो मेरे भाइयों की अनथक मेहनत है, इनकी माशाल्लाह दिन रात की मेहनत है। तो माशाल्लाह वाजिद साहब ने ये पूरी जगह बाटले में इन्होंने आइडेंटिफाई की। इमरान भाई हैं, हमारे दोस्त हैं इमरान भाई, माशाल्लाह भी वो पाकिस्तान उम्रे पे गए थे सऊदी, उनके वालिद साहब का इंतकाल हो गया तो उनको जाना पड़ा, वो नहीं आ सकते इमरान भाई। अल्लाह पाक उनके वालिद साहब को जन्नत फिरदौस में आला मकाम अता फरमाए। उसके बाद वाजिद भाई ने ये जगह ली, ख़रीदी और उसको पूरा इसको किट आउट किया। और साजिद भाई ने जितनी भी मर्चेंडाइजिंग है, जितनी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, ये साजिद भाई ने की है। तो बिग अ राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज प्लीज ब्रदर्स एंड सिस्टर्स फॉर साजिद भाई एंड वाजिद भाई। अल्लाह पाक आपको जज़ा खैर अता फरमाए। हमारी पूरी टीम जो हमारा स्टाफ है माशाल्लाह, नए स्टाफ भी है, पुराने स्टाफ भी हैं, अल्लाह पाक इन सबको जज़ा खैर अता फरमाए। हम पूरी फैमिली का हिस्सा हैं, अल्लाह पाक इनको जज़ा खैर दे। बच्चों के लिए सारे पूरी फैमिली को मुबारकबाद और आपको मुबारकबाद।
से इस तौर अल्लाह कायम हुआ है, उसकी लाज रखेगी न तौफीक अता फरमा। अपने कर्म से अल्लाह इन भाई में आपस में जोड़ मोहब्बत से हुआ, ख़ानदान में जोड़ बरकत से हुआ। दुनिया के लिए जैसे जैसे कोशिश कर रहे, ऐसा तेरे दीन को दुनिया में ज़िंदा करने की कोशिश अता फरमा। अल्लाह अपने कर्म से दीन का काम करने की तौफीक अता फरमा, मसाजिद को आबाद करने की तौफीक अता फरमा। अल्लाह ये शहर बाटले का, जहाँ पर हज़ारों उलमाए कराम, हज़ारों तलबा और हज़ारों बच्चे या अल्लाह, और कितने सैकड़ों या अल्लाह हर मस्जिद में बच्चे हाफ़िज़ कुरान हो रहे हैं। इस मुबारक जगह पर ये स्टोर खुला है, इस स्टोर को या अल्लाह पब्लिक की खिदमत की तौफीक अता फरमा। हमारी दुआओं को अपने कर्म से नबी पाक से कबूल फरमा। व सल्लल्लाहु तआला अला खैर खल्क़िही मुहम्मद व अला आलिहि व सहबिहि अजमईन बिरहमतिका या अरहम।
لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر سبحان الله والحمد لله لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر.
That clip with deep interest, because as you see there, anybody can start a business and not think about Islam and faith, and the most important aspect of it is that you do so with the name of Allah as one of your key priorities at the beginning. And that clip shows us that Abid and his family are really, really deeply rooted in the principles and values of Islam, because they didn't want to open up that shop. When he phoned me 4 or 5 days beforehand and told me that he wants to do a small opening, and we worked together to try and help build that. And I was absolutely amazed at the number of people who turned up for that event. And that is something that I want to share. You saw the people who came the next day when it officially opened. There were queues outside, sort of, hundreds of people waiting to go in. But that's besides of all that. I mean, what I want to say to Abid and ask Abid is, obviously you've opened this shop. This is your 5th one. And may Allah give you even more strength to open even more shops and provide valuable jobs in places like Batley and Dewsbury, where there are a lot of young people, particularly in the Muslim community, who are unemployed. So you provide a service, both in terms of the goods that you sell at a very reasonable price, because I've been told that a lot of people have been going shopping, they've been told me that. But you also provide employment, right?
Absolutely.
And also, the way he treats his staff is also based on the Islamic values of respect and dignity.
Absolutely.
Is that one of your key priorities?
Bhajan, it's very, very important. You treat your staff as your family, because they are very, very key people. And the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the last moment of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's life, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam called the Sahaba Ikram Ajma'in, the companions, उन्होंने ये फरमाया, नमाज को मजबूती से पकड़े रखना. Keep hold of namaz very firmly. And second, look after the people around you. Look after the people that work for you. Look after for the people that are weak in the community. So these are, and then the Prophet ﷺ said that your path to Jannah will be made very easy.
Subhanallah.
So ये अल्लाह की तरफ से एहसान है कि अल्लाह पाक ने हमें ये मौका दिया है, क्योंकि इकबाल भाई, it's not about just about business. It's about how we conduct our life.
Just the ethics of it.
The ethics of it.
Yeah, the ethics
and,
of it.
and the reasoning behind it. And you see, the thing is, the best of example is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Definitely.
You know, the best of example.
Because he was a business person.
Absolutely.
He said business is sunnah.
Subhanallah.
Right.
And how you greet people. And a lot of people says to me, you always smile and you always meet people with that love and respect. And I says, only, wallahi, I don't just meet people just for the business sake. It is the sunnah of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to meet people. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to the nearest meaning, be the first to say salam. To be the first to say salam and give salam to those that you know and those that you don't know.
Exactly.
If you don't know the person, that humbles you, because that आपका तकब्बर, आपका गुरूर नीचे गिरता है. तो कहते हैं ना, मिटा दे अपनी हस्ती को, मिटा दे अपनी हस्ती को, अगर कोई मर्तबा चाहिए, दाना खाक में मिलकर गुलो गुलजार होता है. और अपने लिए तो जीते हैं सभी जहां में भाई इकबाल साहब. आपका नाम देके मुझे इकबाल रहमतुल्लाह अलैह याद आते हैं जी.
I wish I was a little, one nails.
नहीं, माशाअल्लाह, या माशाअल्लाह. कहते हैं कि वो फरमाते हैं कि अपने लिए तो जीते हैं सभी इस जहां में, जिंदगी का मकसद औरों के काम है. अपने लिए तो हर बंदा जीता है. सुबह से लेके शाम तक पूरी दुनिया में हर बंदा यही दौड़ लगाता है, मेरी दुनिया बन जाए, मेरी हर चीज़ बन जाए. लेकिन असल में है कि अगर अल्लाह ने आपको सब कुछ दिया है ना. And I remember these elderly people that came from subcontinent, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh. These, I mean, they came and the whole exercise was economical, prosperity.
It was to make the money and then probably go back.
But can you imagine, there was one person that came, but he was feeding and supporting the whole family back out there.
Yeah.
For many, many years that they did that. And they started calling them and started bringing them here. MashaAllah, the whole community grew. I mean, let's look at ourselves 60 years ago. And after 60 years, alhamdulillah, we have really, as a community, we are really, MashaAllah, advanced.
Oh, MashaAllah, subhanAllah. And we have been very, very successful. And one of the other things that I really want to pick up on is, we've come across, as Abid Bhai says, there's lots of Muslim businesses who have been very, very successful. But one of my pet projects over the last few months, years, has been that while we give a lot of money back home to India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, I come from Africa, so Africa as well.
Course, yes.
What we now need to start looking at is what people need in this country.
Absolutely.
And we have a duty and a responsibility
100%
to support those people who are vulnerable, who are less fortunate than ourselves. Now, I know for a fact that Abid Bhai has already agreed that he was going to donate some money to the local schools, where some of them are Muslim children go, some of them are non-Muslim, but he wants to make sure that those children who go to those schools near the supermarket, benefit from the bounties that Allah has bestowed upon them. And this is something, how important do you feel that is for the Muslim community?
Iqbal Bhai, is very, very important. We are part of the fabric now. We are part of the society.
Yes.
So now we have to make sure that the institution where we all, mashallah, the services that we use, whether it's the national health, whether it's the schools, we should be really moving forward and helping our schools to strengthen the resources that they need. As a community, we have responsibility. When we go to hospitals and NHS is providing the service to the whole community, it doesn't segregate. And it doesn't have, a class system. Every person is treated equally. And this is where equal opportunities, in this country, that we value that. Whether it's the police, whether it's the the fire brigade, whether it's the ambulance, or whether national health, every service. But it's very important that now it is our duty to really support them. And these children that go to our local schools, whether these are primary schools, secondary schools, we need to support them so that the interaction between the school and the community and national health and the community, the bridges are stronger. So we don't want to be just recipients, but we want to be the people that are actually given as well.
What do you say to people? I mean, Islam has always valued this principle, what you do with your right hand, don't let the left hand know. But I have now changed my ideas on that, because after all the riots and anti-Muslim hatred
Yes.
that we've seen, particularly in the last year, do you feel that we as a community need to sort of reflect on that and
Yes.
become more proactive?
Absolutely. 100% Iqbal Bhai. We have to become more proactive as a community, and to the host community, we must, any need, anywhere there is a need, we should really stand up in solidarity with the fellow countrymen, So that element of hate, we have to be an example.
Exactly.
We are the ambassadors of our religion, ambassadors of our communities, ambassadors of our own families, and we have to have a very positive role. If we are positive, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran कि खुदा ने आज तक उस कौम की हालत ना बदली, ना हो जिसको ख्याल खुद अपनी हालत के बदलने का. Agar if you want to see a change, then you have to be part of the change first. You have to be an example, So for that reason, I think it's very, very important that locally things are very, very tough. People are having a very, very difficult, situations. We must identify those organizations, those individuals. If we can help these people, and with open arms, we should really make sure that these people are comforted and they are supported.
100% again. That's why I've said to you before that I want to bring businesses like Abid's, like My Lahore, like Chaudhry Yunus Saab from Regal and others. There are many out there who at the moment are doing everything very quietly.
That's right. Yes.
Without publicizing what they're doing. And I think the time has now come for us as a Muslim community to actually get more proactively sort of stand out and say, look, this is where we're contributing.
Absolutely.
And the Muslim community has been very generous over the past, has done enormous amount of support in this country, but it's all been done very quietly.
Yes.
And it's given our enemies the opportunity to
course.
use that against us.
Absolutely.
And now we need to change that. I mean, Abid Bhai, obviously, as I hope you understood what I said. He's a master of English. He's an absolute gem of a master in the Urdu language. He's also a shair as well. And as I said, his knowledge of Islam and the Hadith is phenomenal. And that's why when we opened he opened the store in Batley on that evening, virtually all the senior ulama in the Batley Dewsbury area
been blessed,
wanted to come and be part to support Abid and his brothers in the opening ceremony. And that is the high esteem within which people hold him, and I've always held him in a very high esteem. Now, young people maybe watching this program, or their parents may be watching. What's the sort of the important advice you'd give them from your experience of business,
the most
community,
important advice that
etc.?
I've given that, mashallah, first of all, we are Muslims.
Mashallah.
We have to be ambassadors of our religion. We have to be very positive. We have to be more proactive. And the journey starts from home. First of all, we have to treat our parents, to the best of our ability. Give them that love and respect and the affection. And because of their du'as, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will, take us to those places that we can't even imagine. Also, where we are, where we live, in Britain, mashallah, positive, many opportunities. It's a land of opportunity for us, for our communities. And we must grasp and look for these opportunities and work positively rather than taking a shortcut and getting involved with wrong people and getting into illicit, organizations. It's not going to get us anywhere. What we need to do is be positive, be honest, and be kind, and be focused, and have a dedication and a vision, and a drive to move forward in a positive light, that you can make a difference in people's lives. And that's starting from your journey at home. Once you're successful and you bring in, success to your home, that success could be shared with neighbors, with people around you, the organizations that you're representing, whether it's a masjid, whether it's a madrasa, whether it's a community school, wider. Then we're going to the local hospitals and local schools and local organizations. There were brothers that came from Leicester, some of the Gujarati brothers, very learned brothers. And they came to me just a few weeks ago, 3 of them. And they said, we've got a project within our community. And it is counseling those people who are on, a drug issue. They're really heavily in drugs or alcohol issues. And they've organized a very, this organization that they're running is supporting hundreds of families.
Yeah, counseling. Yeah.
The counseling that they do. And they were saying that it's having such an impact on those lives because lives are changing.
Subhanallah.
You know, subhanallah. And I says to them, I says, look, I'm one of them. I'm going to be supporting you from today to make sure that every penny that you spend goes into the right direction and helps those to get back onto their feet.
Subhanallah. And just on a side of that, yesterday we had, over the last weekend, an extremely successful international HIFZ competition.
That's right, mashallah.
We had
Beautiful.
so many people from nearly 47 countries, I think, I understand, who took part. It was shown on Iqra TV, I've been told. I didn't realize
mashallah,
that.
Mashallah.
And Abid and his family, on behalf of the business, actually gave a ticket, an Umrah ticket, to one of the successful winners of that competition. Allah bless you.
Iqbal Bhai, honestly, this is just a drop in ocean. The amount of work that the brothers and sisters in Batley and Dewsbury are doing for Islam, honestly, this is a drop in ocean. What these brothers and sisters doing and practically presenting themselves in a positive light.
Well, it was a very, very successful
Subhanallah.
event. You know, there were people from all over the world who were engaged in it. There were people taking part from around the world as well in the Qiraat competition. And it's the second one that we've had in Batley. And I pay tribute to Qari Sayyid Makra Sahab and his team.
Full team,
for bring together, I mean, the massive volunteering group that worked on that whole project was amazing. May Allah reward them as well. So Abid Sahab, and it's the Tariq Sahab said from Leeds, who rang in asking for, you know, what gives you pleasure. So you've heard what Abid said. We're running out of time. I'm sure you'll be, probably should be, and will be enamored by what Abid Sahab has said to us, and particularly young people. You want role models? Here's a role model that I presented today. Look at him, look at his family, look at his journey, and learn from it. And inshallah, one day Allah will make it, if not as much successful, even more successful than him. Abid Sahab, thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Thank you for taking your time out. Inshallah, I'll see you soon next week. Take care. Another Monday, I'll be with you. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah be with you.
Ameen.